I'd like to start by asking about the uniqueness of your journey with the Indian scriptures, and how you went about translating Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Sankara's thought, and of course one of the Upanishads into Spanish, and what has been the reception like?
Thank you very much for this wonderful introduction. सबसे पहले तो आप सबको तो हमारा हार्दिक नमस्कार. हम तो हमारा प्रेजेंटेशन तो अंग्रेजी में ही करेंगे, लेकिन कम से कम 3-4 शब्द तो हिंदी में बोलना ही पड़ेगा ना. So I would like to say first of all, that my trip to India was a matter of chance, actually, because I never wanted to come to India, to be truthful to you. But it was my wife who led me here and made me discover this wonderful continent, because it's not a subcontinent, it's a continent in its own right, And in my first trip to India, the Bhagavad Gita spoke to me. And the Bhagavad Gita for me was the source of inspiration for learning Sanskrit. Actually, I remember very well, I was sitting in Pushkar, and I was reading an English translation of the Bhagavad Gita. At that time, I didn't know any Sanskrit nor any Hindi. But it was one shlok who really changed the way I perceive myself. And I think that's the wonderful thing about classical books, about wisdom books, This was a shlok from the 3rd chapter. And I will just pronounce it, no? Evam pravartitam chakram nanu vartayati hayaha agayurindriya ramo mogham partha sajivati. And this shlok says very easy, Evam pravartitam chakram. Evam pravartitam chakram. The chakra, the wheel that turns like this. Evam pravartitam chakram. Nanusarati ihaya. The person who is not following the wheel of life that turns like this, aghayurindriya ramo. He lives a life dedicated to the sensual pleasure. And he really ends up wasting his life, okay? If you don't turn with the wheel of life, the Vedic text and the Gita, which is also a Vedic text, are full of these wheels of life where human action is at the center of this turning of the wheel to make a world that it is really, sustainable. And let's say like that already. So, after this, the Gita says, if you don't follow your own dharma, even if you are able to perform the dharma of another person in an excellent way, you are doomed. So this is a very subtle thing. Even if you do the dharma of another person and you do it well, you will be lost. So after reading this, I recognized it was a time of my life, when I was denying my own swadharma. I was a man of letters, and I was trying to be a man of action, okay? And then after reading that, I came back, and I retook my studies, and I made, the decisions to come back to India and to study Sanskrit to be able to read the Gita in the original language. And that's basically my story.